We need to talk. You a video maker like me? Are you a screenshot maker? Are you one of those awesome people that kind of captures like action poses? Or one of those slightly more unusual people that dresses your character in bikinis and photographs it from underneath? Are you the kind of person that likes to kind of build settlements and is constantly having to use console commands to kind of give yourself all of the equipment and things like that? Are you just frustrated that you can't always access an inventory wherever you want or quickly kind of go somewhere and you're always kind of typing things into the console? Are you frustrated that when you kind of get cool little mods like bullet time or something that puts something into your inventory that you can't kind of hotkey it to something that isn't just the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Are you? Well, don't be any longer, because there is a mod which is absolutely amazing, and I've now been using it for 3-4 weeks, maybe, basically since I've been doing mod-it videos, so go and check how long that is. And basically what it does is it allows you to set basically anything you want to any key you want. I know, right? That includes any bit of equipment in your inventory. That includes any console command. It includes any papyrus code. It includes direct combinations with correlations with kind of other mods. It includes combinations like shift this, shift that, alt this, alt that, control this, control that. It just means you've got this massive amount of customization that you can do, and it has just sped up my kind of workflow so much, made making videos and screenshots and all those kind of things so much more enjoyable to play. And just for a quick example about it, I'm really sorry about the weather. I should have made it a bit nicer before I came out. Oh, there we go. And I'm really sorry that the camera's moving so slowly. Oh, there we go. That's fixed. So, come join me. We're going to tweak it, we're going to mod it, but more importantly, we're going to hotkey it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mod It. Normally in my Mod It series, I normally go creepy introduction, then I kind of show the mod off, and then I go to the installation. And today we're going to do it a little bit backwards because this is different. This isn't a gameplay tweak. This is like an interface tweak. It's called Fallout 4 Hotkeys, and it's by Registrator 2000, and I have already endorsed this because I absolutely love it. The description is really well written, and it's highly amusing as well, as he demonstrates that you can make your character dance while in the middle of speech checks, and it does what I said in the introduction. It basically allows you to hotkey more or less anything to anything. And there's a full version which you just install in the usual way. You go into kind of files, download with manager, you install it that way if this is going to load, and then there's a light version which there's two different ways of installing, but I would recommend you get the full version, because if you get the light version, basically what you can do is you can come to a text file and you can set up various commands like this, which I'll show you mine in a minute. If you do the full version, then you can still do this, but you can also link things directly in your Pip-Boy to a hotkey as well. So for example, an easy one, a stim pack, I can go in and I can say, right, I want my stim pack to be shift 1, and I can do that in the game. So I would recommend you do the full version, and I haven't had any problems getting it to work or conflicting with anything else. Actually, that's a slight lie. I've had one issue that I'll tell you about a little bit later. So what can we do with Fallout Hotkeys? Now, I want to change that question. We're going to reboot. We're going to turn it around to say, what do you want to do with Fallout Hotkeys? Because it can probably do it. Because different players are different, and different players are trying to do different things, like I kind of said in the introduction. So there's no way I can give you an exhaustive list, but I can show you a few little things to kind of give you the kind of the idea. Now, first of all, we can make ourselves dance, but we can also make it play kind of any other animation that you might possibly want to. You could even kind of connect it to something like kind of punching someone in the face. You can even connect it to something like removing all of your weapons. You know how some players want to play kind of melee fists, and it's really hard to be fists because you can't select fists. You have to deselect everything else, but you can do that with a console command, and then you can set that console command to a key. So you can actually have a key that selects your fists, which is great for those kind of players. You can also have a button which actually stops him doing those kind of animations as well. We can do all sorts of things for camera making. So for example, I will just show you a few. So I've got one button set to disconnect, to toggle the free camera, which saves me going into the console and stuff. I've got various then shift and alt combinations of that button to change the speed. So I can, there's my very slow moody one. You can see I'm very, very slowly kind of zooming out here. And then if I can do the shift version of the same thing, I go kind of twice the speed. And if I do kind of control, then I've got the speed kind of between the two. He says accidentally kind of ducking down. Now, so that sets up my kind of camera thing. Supposing I think that the weather isn't quite nice enough, I can, I've looked up the kind of thing, the different versions, and there is my lovely sunny weather. Here is my incredibly foggy weather. Here is my my ridiculous storm weather, which I don't think I've used, but maybe one day. Could be fun, and I love the way it makes dog meat's eyes just glow. And I think I've got like a just kind of general kind of overcast one as well, which I thought looked particularly nice. Supposing we're in the middle of a fight and my characters are in the middle of blasting each other, and I'd really like to kind of get a shot of that, or even have a little conversation about it, then I can just kind of go instantly to toggle game pause, which is very nice. Look at them, they can't move, they're not going anywhere. That also helps if you can. Sometimes when you do free camera, your character keeps going turning around and around, and then you can freeze him to kind of stop him doing that as well. And then I can press the same thing again. Now, all of these, of course, work possible in the console, but A, you've got to keep looking them up, and B, you have to type them out most of the time, or type with a modification. But here I can just do it straight away with keys, which is so much better. I've done things with the time as well. So this is first thing in the morning, and this is the middle of the day. If I want my perfect very, very light shot, which is very important for kind of mod making videos, because my first couple of videos were really, really dark, and I was like, I really need to take control of this, and so I did. I can make it first thing in the morning. I can make it last thing I can make it the middle of the night, and I can make it last thing at the night as well. And of course, you can then tweak the weathers to go with it. So if I wanted it kind of first thing in the morning and really, really foggy, just 2 clicks and I'm there ready for my beautiful little pose. What else have I got one set to? I've got one of my keys. If I go back into my character, I've got one of my keys set to quick save in survival. So I love survival mode. I've done I'm middle of a role play on survival mode, but there's little things that I want to tweak, and one of it is saving. I like to be able to quick save because it just sucks up my life having to redo things over and over, and I rage quit and stuff. So look, F5, bam. Quick save in survival mode, which I used another mod for, which you can find in Mod It as well. What else have I got one set to? I think that might be it for all of the ones that I use. Oh, wait, no, I've got toggle God mode and removing the HUD. So there you go, HUD completely gone, perfect for screenshots. I've got toggle clip mode, which I use for, which is Alt F3. This is the one that I use for my when I'm building. I don't know if you've ever done this, but often I climb to the top of buildings and then I just fall off things and then I die, and then I have to build it all over again, or or I have to kind of build loads of stairs just so I can get on something, so I can build something, and this kind of saves that. And I'm sure you guys know what clipping mode is, but I can now just kind of do it very, very quickly, turning it on and turning it off. So let's show you kind of an in-game application of this. Just so let's say you're not a video maker, you're not a screenshot maker, you just want it to improve your gameplay. Let's say you want to have all your weapons set to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. So your shotguns, your pistols, your machine guns, your machete. But then you want to have all your chemicals on more or less the same button. So let's say Shift 1, Shift 2, Shift 3, Shift 4. So the way you do that is you go into your Pip-Boy and you find your hotkey manager, which is in Aid. If it isn't here, check the description, because there's a little fix how you can get it back in, because I had a little problem with that one. And then you can see that there are various commands here. Now, if you look at the ini file, which is over here, the defaults have already been set up for you. Shift 1, Shift 2, Shift 3. So the hotkeys are set to these. You can change them, read the description. You can even set them in game by typing. I just prefer to do it in the document so I can kind of see it. So let's do hotkey number 2, which is going to be Shift 2. All right, so we're going to go down here, back into the game. You can see at the moment it's set to my Rad-X. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click Modify 2. I'm going to do Set Assignment, and it then tells me to click the one that I want. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on the stim pack itself, and it says hotkey saved, and I say thank you very much. He's just injected himself. Now it will actually activate it once just as you're doing it because you kind of clicked it, but then when I'm ready for it to go again, I just do shift 2 and he stim packs himself, and I can do that in the middle of the fight or anything like that. I've also got my bullet time set up here because I've decided in this particular playthrough I am not going to use VATs, so I've actually put bullet time on top of VATs, so I can't use VATs now. I mean, obviously I can, but if I just press my VATs button, boom, bullet time springs into effect, and I can shoot this car in the face nice and slow, and then kind of trigger it off like that. So there's kind of another application of it. And it's as simple as that. You can just assign as many different things as you want going on there. Now, again, I can't show you the exhaustive lot because there's just so many. But if you come over to here and look into the articles section, the author has brilliantly put together a list of other things you could put in. You can separate grenades and melee hotkeys. You can have a key to just turn your radio on and off, etc., etc., etc. And I'll show you my INI file kind of one more time. That I've basically kind of filled it up. I've got a button to allow me to sleep and wait anywhere, which is especially useful for video making. Some other lovely people in the articles comment sections, so not just in the post section, but in the articles comment section, have also suggested some really nice other kind of combinations as well. So you come down here, someone suggested that you can make a hotkey to access in a normal virtual storage. Someone has made some commands that will access merchants whenever you want to go. I mean, these are obviously kind of cheats, but depending on how you want to play the game and what's fun for you, that could be fun. But just read through all these comments and you'll see loads of different ways that players have been using it as well. The only issue I've had with it is to do with kind of button combinations, and it's probably the way I'm playing, and I probably just need to fiddle with it a little bit more, but it's something for you to think about when you're setting up your combinations. I mentioned bullet time earlier. Now, my bullet time button is P, but sometimes when I'm kind of running around and in the middle of a fight, I can be jumping around, I can be kind of pressing the jump button, I can be pressing the sprint button, I can be kind of right clicking, I can be doing all sorts of things, and then in the middle of that I'm going to press P, bam, and nothing happens, because technically I've actually got not just pressing P, I'm actually kind of pressing a combination of buttons. So so sometimes what I need to do is I just kind of stop, I turn around, I just press P, activate the bullet time, and then I'm ready to kind of go again, and then I'm ready to come out again, I just press P again, I go. But so that you can adapt your gameplay, or you can actually set a couple of combinations to activate bullet time. So for example, P activates bullet time and Shift P activates bullet time would work quite nicely as well. I also had a couple of issues assigning different buttons to the mouse, but that might have been because I was using a combination of mouse commands rather than just kind of doing them in general. But like most of these things, you can have a little fiddle, a little play, kind of see what works best for you and what doesn't work best for you. And but the point is that this just gives so much freedom and allows you to do so many things so quickly, which is just it's just brilliant. So that is Fallout 4 Hotkeys. I cannot recommend it enough. I think it is absolutely brilliant. It has sped up my work so much. Work is probably the wrong word. It has sped up my fun so much, and it has removed an awful lot of kind of frustrations and lots of little things where you kind of go, man, I wish I could just. And now I can. So thank you, Registrator 2000 for making it. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for lots of other ideas. If you'd like to see any other specific tutorials using this system, then do let me know. I'm happy to do that, and I'm certainly planning to do some more with bullet time and other bits and bobs in the future. You have been fantastic, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.